Hello, class. Welcome to PAF 512 Advanced Regression. Your instructor, I'm Sean West. I'm actually a recent graduate of the Program Evaluation and Data Analytics program at ASU. I just graduated last December, and now I'm working at Carvana as an operations analyst and teaching this course. So this will be my first time teaching this course. A couple caveats I want to throw out there is number one, I want to make it as helpful as possible. So when I went through the course, it was just the lecture material and you did the lab. Uh, I would like to add some additional value, so I've added some videos this semester for each lecture. If you feel like those are helpful or not helpful, or if you have any feedback, suggestions, critiques, please let me know. I'd love to be able to improve because I'll be teaching this course again in the summer. So please feel free to share that. With that being said, this video is just going to go over what to expect this course, summarize pretty much what you need to know from the syllabus, and let's get started. So welcome to the Canvas shell. When you get started, I highly recommend you go to the welcome to the course module, go through that. It's going to have our syllabus. You can read through it in more detail. But I would like you to refresh your mind on what you should have learned in your 510 and 511 courses about counterfactuals. So you're going to have a few items you can go through in here to refresh yourself on those. You'll need them for the course. Same with the dummy variables. You really want to bring yourself up to speed on dummy variables or at least refresh yourself on those concepts. We'll use them in every single lab and module that we go through this class. Next, there's some additional material. You can go through and look at as much of this as you want. Stargazer is a function we will be using quite a bit. I don't recall if you used that in 510 and 511. Um, so you might be familiar with it. If not, we will use it quite a bit. But really, go back to the stats background section and make sure that you review all, or if not all, some of these PDFs. They'll be really helpful. And again, just setting the stage so this makes more sense in case you've kind of forgotten some of the previous concepts. So I highly recommend doing that. Now, I'm going to jump into the syllabus to go through this with you. There's really not a whole lot in here that I want to touch on. First and foremost, primary mode of communication with me will be email. I include my number, but realistically, you should never need to text or call me. Uh, Email me primarily. If you absolutely have to, you can text or call me. It's available if you need it. Our visits will always be done via Zoom, or we can have quick conversations in email for any issues, errors, troubles you run into within the lab. We will be using GitHub, an issue tracker, which I'll show you shortly. I think everybody should be familiar with it from your previous classes. Now, office hours will be every Monday from 6:30 to 7:30. If you plan on attending, shoot me an email just to let me know. And if you have any specific questions too, give me a heads up. Um, if I don't hear from anybody that they want to meet for office hours, I'm going to assume that nobody's interested in connecting, which is totally fine. If you don't have any questions, you don't want to chat, then you don't need to come to office hours. It's completely voluntary. But if you do plan on meeting or connecting, let me know. Just shoot me an email, say, hey, I'll be there, and I'll that way I'll know for sure to be on the Zoom. And if you need to, if for some reason 6:30, 7:30 AZ time is not going to work, we can always arrange for different hours on a um, by request basis. Okay, main points. This course is very straightforward. There are 6 modules, 6 assignments. That's it. So you just have to do 6 labs, which are due once a week, every Friday, starting on the 28th of March. So you've got almost 2 weeks after the start of the uh, session in order to get the first lab done. So you'll see the agenda laid out here. We'll have the first lab, one per week. So the 28th, and then once every Friday thereafter. So the first Friday, and then once every Friday until we get to May 2nd. So 6 labs, very easy to complete, not super complicated stuff. So one thing I do actually want to kind of harp on is don't procrastinate. So when it comes to this first week, you're not going to need a whole week to go through and review everything. So I would highly recommend in that first weekend, so our course starts on Monday, the weekend following the Monday the 17th. I would highly recommend you get in there and get a head start on interrupted time series. Ideally, a lot of you can complete the lab that weekend, and so you're working ahead. So if you run into any issues, you're just setting yourself up to where you're not having to uh, complete the lab last minute. And one final thing I want to say, uh, as we talk about our issue tracker, if you post on Thursday or Friday night, your chances of me responding are smaller than if you post on Wednesday or prior. So if you were to post, especially Friday night, I'll almost inevitably not get back to you on Friday night. I have a beautiful wife and we have date nights on Friday nights. So if for any reason you post on Friday night, you're trying to really get the lab done last minute, I will make every effort to get back to you, but I just really want to set the stage. I don't want you to put yourself in a position where I may not respond if you have an issue and you're trying to get the lab done last minute and I don't get back to you and you submit an incomplete lab or you don't submit it because you don't hear back from me. Um, don't procrastinate is the bottom line. So with that being said, you have my email, you have my phone number, we have the Zoom. Again, 6 assignments, very simple. They're all just the lab based. And for the, or sorry, the one very important part of this course is that it's set up so it's streamlined so well. The lecture translating into the lab is very clean, unlike some other courses in this program. If you're in the PETA program or other courses you might have come across, it's not as straightforward. In this, it's very straightforward. What you learn will be directly applied to the lab. So if you have issues in the lab, you can reference back to the lecture and you should be able to answer pretty much any question you have. That was one thing I really appreciated about this course. As mentioned again, we will be using the GitHub issue tracker. So to pull that back up, we have the link here. Follow the issue tracker, ultimately takes you to this, and you can pop open a new page. This issue tracker was used for a course taught in spring of 2024. So we have some old posts on there. For you, just create a new issue, tag me in it. If for some reason you don't tag me in it, I will be checking this virtually every single night in order to respond to you. But this is if you have any issues, any errors, make sure you post on here. General rule of thumb, before you post, check to see the previous posts. Other students may have had the same question, posted it, and we've answered it. So instead of having to add a bunch of near duplicate questions, always check and see if your question has already been asked. If it hasn't, please post it. We want to make sure that we're keeping it clean though. So we don't want to have a bunch of redundant questions. Okay, so as far as the introduction to the lab, I think that's everything that I wanted to go over with you. This right here is going to be the website that we will be using for all of our lectures. So you can see here we have our time series we'll touch on, diff and diff, fixed effect, instrumental variables, regression, discontinuity, and logistic regression. There is a bonus module. We won't be doing that as a lab. However, if you want to go through this on your own, you're more than welcome to. The ones we will be focusing on, though, are the time series through the logistic regression. Those will be our 6 modules, and those links will be within the Canvas shell. I believe that's everything. Please reach out if you have any other questions. I'm really looking forward to working with you all, and if there are any critiques or feedback on the videos, the lecture videos I make, please give me a heads up, let me know. I want to make sure we work on those as an evolving value add to this program. All right, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you soon.